All right, guys, we are back with some LEC offseason news once again. I know all the Fnatic fans out there have been patiently waiting to try and find out who the heck is going to be on this team in 2026. All the other LEC rosters are getting done. You see all the new teams, the new pieces, all that stuff. But Fnatic, we haven't gotten a ton of info yet. But that's why we brought on Eros today, because Fnatic seemingly is finally starting to get some moves done. So Eros, tell the Fnatic fans what the heck's going on. Give them some hope for their new roster.
Hello guys, how you doing? I'm so excited to be back here with Germ, my favorite ball guy from esports. And I'm here just to clarify how off-season has been going on for Fnatic, give people some hope, maybe not, who knows, maybe they don't like the move. And basically, I think if I'm not wrong, yesterday we posted that finally, after a lot of weeks of discussion, Bloody has found an agreement with Fnatic and Fnatic with KC for his buyout. And now the second player who will be joining Fnatic for next year, Germ, is Empirus, the Greek top laner. He was playing this year in LFL, if I'm not wrong. He was one of the options you guys mentioned on the ship show. So in the end, seems like Fnatic has already made a decision, and everything agree with the great top laner, and that's it. Oscar will be on the bench because he still has contract with Fnatic, and now Fnatic has two players out of five.
Yeah, and I know obviously you're a guy that has a lot of opinions and usually isn't too scared to share them. Do you have opinions for people who aren't as familiar with this player? Do you have opinions about how good this guy is, how excited Fnatic fans should be to have him as their top laner for next season? Anything like that for us?
Sure, I think Empirus has been developing a lot in ERLs. He's a guy who has been talked a lot about his potential. Uh, some years ago, I think he was called like Jax Plank, and then he renamed himself to Empirus. That's why maybe people don't know as much uh, about him. But yeah, he has been in the scene for a little bit. I think he also played with Bloody on a team already, so they know each other. Obviously, they're also Greek, so that helps a lot. And I think out of the options Fnatic had, uh, he's a great pickup. I I still think Oscar is better than both of them, but obviously, like Oscar didn't show up this year. That's a fact. It was not his best year, and if Fnatic and Grabs made the decision to do a change, definitely Empirus is a great option.
I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. And I know Fnatic fans, I'm sure, won't exactly be excited to hear you saying that you think Oscar is the best player out of the three players that were considered. Because I know a lot of Fnatic fans are like, hey, we need an upgrade from Oscar in the top lane. We need somebody that's going to be better than that. So, maybe not exactly what they're looking for. But like you said, obviously the talent and how you actually play when you actually get in the game isn't always the same. But I know you did mention as well that Oscar is going to end up on the bench now for Fnatic. I know we had talked a little bit previously about, if Fnatic didn't decide to go with Oscar in the top lane, that maybe they would try to sell him off. Maybe Oscar would end up at another team, whatever. How was the market looking for Oscar? Why was Fnatic not able to, sell him off to another team, or why was Oscar not able to move to another team? That type of stuff.
I think also obviously the fact that going to Worlds uh, delays you a lot the off season, and the talks with the teams, but obviously like the biggest reason for Oscar to not finding a new team is that his year was not the best one. Definitely, like I think we didn't saw anything of the last year Oscar where he was like popping off with the champs that he likes to play, the Jays, and all these like strong side matchups. I think this year Oscar was a shade of what he was on the past, and that affects a lot also on the public's opinion and on the team's opinion about him. I still think he has that potential to become again what Oscar was, which is a really strong side player. I remember like the first time he got promoted to LEC was playing on Fnatic Academy, which was having an insane run on Superliga, almost undefeated. And Oscar was popping off every game. All the teams were banning him 2, 3 times that he was not able to play because like he was stomping the game so hard. And I'm missing that Oscar, that hungry Oscar. And maybe this is like what Oscar needs, like a split being benched so he can think about it, gain again that motivation, and become his best version again.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of an interesting thing to note here as well, that, if Fnatic is keeping Oscar, on the bench, he's still going to be on the roster and stuff. Even if, Empirus does end up working out or doesn't end up working out or whatever, maybe there is also always the possibility of, Oscar coming back in or, getting another opportunity with Fnatic later on down the road or something like that. If, him getting benched is a big motivation and allows him to come back, better and stronger than ever before and all that stuff.
Yep.
But, yeah, some pretty interesting news coming out of the LEC today. Obviously, Fnatic, getting closer and closer to that final 2026 roster. They got their, like Eros said, their mid laner locked up with Vladdy and that buyout getting done, and now have seemingly their top laner for 2026 locked up as well, with Empirus coming in for next season. Pretty big and exciting news coming out, and hopefully we'll get the rest of that Fnatic roster sooner rather than later.
Yeah, hope so. I think maybe Fnatic fans will be a bit disappointed. For me, from ERL, it's one of the best things you guys can pick. So cheer for the guy. He deserves it. I think he definitely deserves the spot. And like it's always nice to have some fresh blood on the league because they Empirus is also really young, so he will come really motivated. And I enjoy a lot that stuff outside of recycling players. Every time like this guy sucks on a team and then he moves to another team and he keeps sucking. So please bring new guys. So really happy for Empirus, and let's see how he does.
Yeah, sounds good. Can't wait. I know I'm really excited for the 2026 season. Like you said, always happy to see some new faces in the LEC if they end up being good and exciting, hopefully. But you got to give players a chance to see what they can do. But definitely, guys, stay tuned for the rest of that Fnatic roster. All those, announcements and leaks and everything will be coming on all the different Sheep Esports mediums. So hopefully we can get that news to you guys soon, and we'll catch you later.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.